Hi, and welcome to the next tutorial for UX design. This one's going to be talking about our specific project and how to complete it. So if you have a little bit of questions or if my instructions were not clear enough, this is where you can go for help. This is the Mockup and Prototypes Ice Cream Project walkthrough. You will find the links necessary below. For this project, the supplies you're going to need is a subscription or sign up for figma.com student subscription, right? It's free. Any free images from Pixabay, you have to download them, and an internet connection. Okay, so I have shared a file with you for Figma. If you click on this link over here, it should take you to your Figma site, and it should allow you to get into this mockup start file. So if I open this mockup start file, you can see it has a couple of things. Give Figma a second. Okay, now we have a few things to check out. First of all, we have a very tiny flowchart of the site. It's a 3-page website. I'm not asking you to do a huge amount of stuff. Then you see there's frame 3, which has a list of things that you can do. And I'm going to zoom into 100%. So I want you to fill out some of these forms, and you're going to use this to create a prototype that actually connects. So first thing I need you to do so that you don't mess up the mockup file for everybody, see how it says start file, is go to the top of the page, use the drop down menu, and I want you to duplicate this file, and you want to open the duplicate. Okay, this is the copy. The next thing I want you to do is to rename the file with your name. So instead of mockup start file, we're going to call it my last name, so Rowsey, R-O-W-S-E-Y, and I'm going to put in ice cream mockup. Okay, why? Because this is an ice cream shop's website. Okay, it's going to be a very short, tiny app that kind of lists the flavors that they have, talks about their location, their hours, and what it is that they do, and gives you a chance to ask questions. So I'm going to zoom in by going to the side menu over here and changing from 29% to 100%. First thing I like you guys to do is to check out the flowchart, kind of read it through. You'll notice that the section below where we have the wireframes follows the flowchart. The next thing I want you to do is to pick the color palette. So the way you do that is you pick 3 colors that you would think a ice cream shop called the Frozen Rainbow Ice Cream Shop would like.
Okay, so I've given you guys a flowchart over here of what's in the wireframes below. Frame 3 is where the first part of the project is going to happen. So once you've changed the name to your name and Ice Cream Mockup and created, first of all, a duplicate, right? I want you to go in to frame 3 and pick a color palette. If you need help, there's some cool resources that I'm putting into the optional resources section where you can get help picking color palette. Essentially, to create your color palette, you click on any one of these gray rectangles, go to the side property bar. You should see a fill section right here under the design dropdown, and pick a color that you would like. Like this is an ice cream shop, so I definitely want one of these colors to be this fun pink ice cream color. Once you've picked this color, you'll notice that it has a hex number right here. See this pound sign or hashtag and F5D0F6. I am actually going to copy this by double clicking on it and hitting Command C or Control C, depending on whether you're working on a Mac or a PC, and then double clicking in here and pasting that number with the pound sign or hashtag in front of it. Okay, now pick whatever colors you want to pick. This is where you want to put those in. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is pick my typefaces. When you double click on an area that has text in it in Figma, you can highlight it and you can see that the design palette changes to reflect the fact that this is a type. And here we have some different typefaces names. So first of all, we've got Roboto. I'm going to pick rock salt for one of them. And type in rock salt. Then I'm going to hit return, and I'm going to make this text box a little bit bigger, and then double click on it again, highlight the next part, and pick my next. I do like rubato for one of them. I'll do Orbitron for another one, and type in the name of it again. And then the final one, you would hit return again and type in, say, rubato. And highlight it to make sure that it is in the typeface that we have. So there's rubato. Okay, so this is where my typefaces are going to live. If you're using images, and you will be using images, you want to get them from sites that have free rights and usage. The only thing I'm asking is that you tell me where you got them from. So if you're going to use them from Pixabay, type in Pixabay. If you're using stock images from somewhere else, just type in the name of the website. Okay, now your next section of this homework, and you'll notice that this all saves automatically, is to go into the wireframes and turn them into prototypes. This means that if you wanted to, for example, you can change all the typefaces. So for this one, I'm going to pick rock salt. And I'm going to change it to a larger point size over here in the properties palette. Oh, maybe not that big. That's a little bit huge. So frozen rainbow ice cream. If you need to adjust the frame itself, you can do so that it is bigger and taller. Once you change your typefaces to what you want, make sure that they're consistent across the board. Make sure that your colors repeat and use that color palette that you have created. Add images in where you would like. So to do that, you go to the Place Image dropdown, and in your it will go to your computer. It'll ask you to add images. Now, I've downloaded one image from Pixabay right now, and I'm actually going to place it into this cool little section for images. You can also place images into the backgrounds of rectangles. So if I wanted to, I could go to, once again, the drop-down Place Image and pick that ice cream image. And as you can see, when I float over rectangles, it shows up in the background. Granted, this is a terrible image for a border with this typeface and this color. But your job and your challenge in this assignment is to edit these so that they look like they are finished prototypes. Once you have that done and you are ready to move to the next step, you want to connect the different pages. And to do that, you go to the prototype palette right here, select an object you want to connect. So let's say this is going to be my flavors button. And so I grab this object, and you can see that there's a little circle here on the side. And I want my flavors button to go to this page here. And then I click on my contact, and I grab the circle and I drag it to my contact page, which is right here. Okay. And I repeat the same thing for the home button on the next page. So I'll grab my finished home button, and I grab this little dot, and I connect it to the home page. Okay. Now, there's a fun little side here. You may have to rework these fruit categories so that you can have back to top and little icons. So essentially, you'd have to break these down and make them into individual pieces. But for the fun of this, I can say I'm going to drag this to the classic flavor, and then I can take the back to top and drag it back to, say, fruit. or back to contact. It needs a box, essentially, to connect. Okay, so play around with these if you can. If not, don't freak out too much about it. I'm available for help. But figure out how you would like to see these happen. The big things that I really want you to focus on is connections between pages. If you come up with some way to connect these individual pieces and create, essentially anchor links in here, that's great. If not, we will just use the scrolling ability. Make sure that all your color choices are consistent. Don't forget to format the contact form. Don't forget to format the headings in your chosen typefaces. I want this to look like an ice cream shop that sells decadent, amazing ice cream for people. If you want to get more inspiration, the mission of the ice cream shop is right here. Once you are done with this project, I want you to go to the share button. Okay, and I want you to switch this to hand view, and then anyone with the link. So you will copy this link. So click on it to copy it, and you put that copied link into the answer section for this assignment. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions. You can also contact the tutoring center first for specific questions, and if they can't help, they will let me know. All right, good luck and make some beautiful prototypes.